Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. So Japan has just released their team for the Tokyo Grand Slam. They have 4 judoka in each weight class. Probably the only country in the world who can do that at a high level. So we'll go through all their choices and we'll talk about some people who also didn't make the team. And we're going to start with under 60. So we've got Sekimoto, he's down the bottom. Nakamura Taiki, he's next. Then we've got Kondo at number 2, and then the number 1 for Japan is Nagayama. No surprises there, but a little bit surprised not to see Fukuda. Fukuda has made waves on the international scene. He didn't compete at the Kodokan Cup, not exactly sure why, so I think he might be injured. And then there's also Takato. He did compete at the Kodokan Cup, won his first match, but then he lost against Adachi. Adachi, he's another one, similar to Fukuda, who probably could have been selected. He got 3rd at the Kodokan Cup, and then Sekimoto, well, he competed as well, but didn't end up with a medal. So interesting choices for Japan. Just remember, they have a new head coach, so there may be some different decisions happening right now. So under 66, we've got Kintoku, and then Hattori, and then of course Abe Hifumi. He's one of those guys that just doesn't need to compete at the Kodokan Cup because of his outstanding record. But he's not number 1. Number 1 is actually Takeoka. Takeoka, he wasn't at the Kodokan Cup, but of course he is world champion from this year. And I guess that is the reason why he is number 1. So that's going to be excellent. That's probably going to be one of the most exciting matchups that could possibly happen. Abe Hifumi against Takeoka. But outside of these guys at under 66, I think no surprises. No one else really comes to mind for under 66. Moving on to 73. Down the bottom, we've got Tanaka Yudai. I'm not sure he should be number 4. His performance is recently pretty amazing, taking gold, of course, at a recent Grand Slam in Qingdao. Although at the Kodokan Cup he did get eliminated early, got choked out, so that was unfortunate. Now there's Uchimura. We saw him at the Tokyo Grand Slam taking out Hashimoto. That was last year, but hasn't really been active on the international scene. Next up, there's Tanaka Ryuga at under 73. Always consistent, definitely up there. Although, it's hard to say. Under 73, there's so many guys. And then, of course, this guy here, Ishihara. He is our runner-up at the World Championships, taking silver. Of course, no Hashimoto, his days are done. And so 73, I think that's to be expected. Now, under 81s, we've got Amano from Tokai University. He had an okay performance at the Kodokan Cup, although we haven't seen him a lot on the international stage. He was junior world champion at one point, and then I think he got injured, and so we just didn't see him for a while. Next up is Oino. Now, Oino, in my opinion, is the next guy at under 81s. Little surprised to see him at number 3. He got all the way to the final at the Kodokan Cup, and that's probably why he is number 3, because for number 2, it is probably his rival at the moment, and that is Hojo, who's going to come on the screen after this really nice Uchimata. Now, Hojo, I don't think his results are as impressive as Oino's on the international scene, but he did take out Oino at the Kodokan Cup, winning that, and so he's been placed 2nd at under 81s for Japan at the Tokyo Grand Slam. Interesting. We'll see how he does. I think his results are a mixed bag. Really depends who he is up against. Now, also at under 81s, there is Nagase. And when I first saw this, I was a little bit surprised because Takato, he didn't make the team, although he competed at the Kodokan Cup. And then I went and had a look at Nagase's results. And he did have an early exit. He went out in the first round at the World Championships. And so that's probably the big surprise. But before that, I mean, he made it to the final at the Grand Slam in Astana. Lost to Lee. Lee is definitely someone he just can't beat, maybe. Struggles to beat. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but he's still up there. Nagase is still doing his thing. May have just been on bad form for the World Championships. I heard the weight cut was bad. So we'll see. We'll see what happens at the Tokyo Grand Slam, but In my opinion, I think his time might be done. And Oino, I think Oino is going to be the guy at under 81s for Japan. Next up, we've got Kawabata. And some people were surprised on Japanese Twitter as to why he was selected, because he did have an early exit at the Kodokan Cup and hasn't had the greatest results on the international scene recently. But he's really young. I think he's still 19. And everyone just sees a lot of potential in what he can do and become at under 90s. So he's number 4. I think this is a pick for the future. We'll see how he does. We'll see how he is improving. And it's going to be interesting. Next up, we've got Tokumoku. And Tokumoku, I hope I'm saying that name right. Tokumochi? Somebody correct me. But he only appeared at the Kodokan Cup. We haven't seen him at an international tournament before. So definitely check him out. He won the Kodokan Cup twice in a row. So definitely strong in Japan. Now there's Tajima as well, of course, at under 90 is the number 2. Very strong competitor. He has been world champion before, of course, but at the moment it's Murao. Murao is world champion at under 90s. And of course the number 1 for Japan, taking a silver at the Olympics. Just so consistent, Murao. So it's hard to leapfrog him. But someone like Tajima, he's so explosive. I could see him just throwing Bakauri for Ippon, even finding an opportunity to throw Murao for Ippon. And that could change things massively. Looking back at that match against Bakauri, that was definitely a kosoto by Murao, but whatever. I don't think he'll do that again. I think he'll probably try to look for something like this. He can definitely throw Bakauri. He's shown signs of it before, so an interesting matchup, and I hope it happens. Now, under 100s, and this was a really strange one, I don't quite understand this one. Miki has been selected at under 100s. I think there were some other choices that they could have made. Now there's also Masachi. Actually, I think it might be Masuchi. And I think he's been selected because he took out this person here, Hirano. Came back from behind to win this with 10 seconds left. And Hirano, he's kind of been talked up as the next big thing at under 100s. Kind of behind Arai. He's a new under 100 guy at Tenda University. Very skilled, but he did lose here. And so, what do you do with Masuchi? Well, you put him in the Tokyo Grand Slam. I think Japan, they definitely have less guys at under 100, so when someone does something like this, they have another guy to throw in the mix. Now, the number 2 for Japan is Ueoka. I heard he was injured, and that's one reason why we haven't seen him as of late. Now, he won the Kodokan Cup. He had a really good performance, some great throws. And it looks like he's leveling up. I have criticized him in the past. I said Seoinage players, they definitely have an issue throwing kind of those longer foreign judoka. But we'll see. It looks like he's got some new skills, some new techniques. And we'll see how he does. But I think all eyes are going to be on this guy here, Arai. He's definitely the number 1 for Japan at under 100s. He is far above everyone else, I think. Now, plus 100s, we have Nakamura. Consistent guy. I think he's just behind everyone else at the moment. And the one weird thing you have about Japan is they have a lot of heavyweights, but a lot of them are kind of old, and they're not really interested. Well, I'm sure they're interested, but they're not really a part of the conversation. Maybe it's just their age. I'm not too sure, but I think that's why Nakamura is in this position. Obviously, he's getting the wins and putting himself out there, and he has some results on the international scene. But I think it's more about these people here. Nakano, he's one of them. And then Saito, of course, making a return, taking gold at the Kodokan Cup. And you can see, I think he's lost weight, and he looked really agile out there. His techniques were really on fire. So definitely building towards the Tokyo Grand Slam, and I hope he has a wonderful performance. Now, the number one is Alta. Alta, consistent, of course. He wasn't at the Kodokan Cup, but I think he knew he was going to get selected anyway. So that's about it, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comments. I may have missed someone, but 4 Japanese judoka at each weight class. It's going to be awesome. Of course, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.